So, just what is the next step? Well, this is the second time I've recorded this. The first time was at 3:07. It's now 3:14. You can look up there. I guess you can see that. Nah, maybe you can't. Anyway, I have the desk down here cleaned off, and I was busy trying to. In fact, I was going through a whole big little litany of things I was going to do. You see that box? I had the frequency counter sitting on top of that. It does fit in there. I was wanting to get it at an angle back in that cubby hole where those slats are apart. I don't know that I can do that, but it's possible. You know, so that was my thought on that. And then I got to thinking, you know, why not put it up above? And so I came up with this. You can see everything does fit in there. I don't have the meters where I'm going to eventually, or actually put them at, but they're in there good enough to where they would tell me what they look like as far as how it's going to work, things like that. Anyway, what I was talking about also was I was trying to fit some of this stuff in. Something fell down behind the back of that signal generator, and I'm going to have to get that out of there and find out what that was. But I knew some of this stuff would happen, and that's okay. I just want to get everything like I want it, and get all this stuff on one side and get everything, well, basically like I want it. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is I'm usually reaching over here a lot of times to change the settings on this. This one not so much. This one probably never. So actually that would be better off down there. I just don't know if I can get the same type of setup without that cubby hole for that meter to fit back into there. So, and this one can go back a little bit if it needs to. These can be out of the way, I think. Pretty sure. So I can redo things. I still would like to have it down there though better. I think that's going to be my concentration right now, and I just want to basically do some test fitting. It just would be better down there to have it down there. That way I can move these meters over this way a little bit and get them closer to where I want them. So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, the frequency counter would be so much better off there than where it's at. So I've got to do some checking on this strip here. I might be able to move that out of the way a little bit. I don't know. It's just things I'm thinking about on this Sunday. It is Sunday afternoon, by the way. I didn't know if I told you that. I did an original video, but I didn't hit the record button. So you know how it is when you don't hit the record button, or I think you know. Anyway, that's that. Let me do some more rearranging here and see if I can come up with. I think I can get things done like I want them done if I move this over just a hair more. And I'm going to get this out of there and put the thing in there first and see if I can get this back in. And just a lot of different ins and outs here and stuff like that. So let me come back in a little bit and I'll show you what I come up with. I'm back once more. You can see now I do have that like I want it. This is how I would like to keep it. Again, I don't know that I'm going to be able to. The only problem I can see is getting this shelf where I want it at. Everything else seems to fit okay. I've got the what do you call it, tight against the side over here as far as I can get it. Now I do have a slight problem down here. If I cut these off, I get just a little bit more room, or at least this one off, and then I can move this up a little bit. I don't know that I'm going to do that. I could. Not a big deal one way or the other. As far as I know, you guys probably didn't even see what I was looking at, did you? This hits right here on this upright thing here. I can cut this off. I don't really need that. There's another screw up above here that holds that shelf up. And actually the shelf would be fine with 3 on there. But anyway, like I said, I could cut this off pretty easy and let this, I can move this up a little bit so it doesn't hit the back one of these, and slide that over there completely, give me but at least a 1/2 inch more. And I think I may do that. I think that would help a lot and give me a little more room there, and I think that's what I'm going to do. But this is sitting in there pretty easy. The only thing I'm going to have to do is come up with a proper shelf. I'd like to have the display up above that, probably come out even with the the top of the signal generator. Basically something about like this. I think that would be just about perfect. And so if I can get that to work, then I think I can get this like I want it. I think everything would fit in there just right then. Now I'm still having problems with the strip underneath that. I may have to relocate that, and that's not a big deal. I can do that. If I did that, that would actually help out a little bit more on getting the shelf in there, because I could then probably put that shelf wherever I want. In fact, I could actually set the meter down all the way on the ground onto the shelf, but I don't really want to do that. I don't think that's the best place for it. I think the best place for it is up there, like I said, on that. If I built it, if I took the, I know I'm going through all this stuff, but if I took the strip out and then made a shelf properly, I could actually put stuff underneath that to go with any of this that I wanted to. And I do have all the space up above there to store things. I did have the temperature gun, the little digital temperature gun. I had that stored up there, as well as the transistor component tester. It was sitting up there. It's not a big deal on that. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and take these things out and get this back to like I want it. Get this marked and cut off to where it will fit in there a little better. And probably move the strip there. Now I don't know exactly where I'm going to put the strip at. Right now it is hooked up behind the, I'm pointing up here and you're not seeing it. Behind the pegboard is where it's hooked up. Now I don't know how I'm going to do it a better way, or a way that will get it out of the way. I thought it was in pretty good shape as far as where it was at. Now if it was on the end of the pegboard, it'd be difficult to get in there and plug things in, but it would be out of the way there. Or I could even put it here, down along this rail here. That can be moved pretty easily, and that would give it plenty of room there, actually. Of course, that takes a little corner of my bench for the cord sticking in there, and I don't want that really. Desktop is bench top, whatever you want to call it, is at a premium. I want as much space on here as I can get it, and I know you guys don't see me when I'm patting on it, but anyway, that's what I'd like to do. So I'm really going to have to do some thinking here, more so than I had planned on doing to begin with. I want to get this as tightly organized as possible, to get as much, maximize my space here as best I can, and I think that's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to have to think about this a little bit more. Now the ones on top, the meters, again, like I said, after I move those out, I can probably move those over here on this side if I want. I could put them this way, I could put them like that if I wanted to. That would be okay. I don't have to have it at an angle. This would be easier to reach and things like that. I don't know. That's a bit of a conundrum there. I'd like to have the angle there, but if I put an angle in it, then I'm going to have to move them down this way. It's just the way it's going to work out. And it's going to be more of a problem to do. Now I can do it right there. That's about as I'll say, move this out a little bit. That's about as good as I can get it right there. And see, that's almost right in the middle of the shelf. and so that would take up a lot more space that I really didn't want to give away. But sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do. So again, a lot of things to consider. Now there's another possibility I just now noticed, and I didn't even think about this, but this might sit here. And you can see it down here a little bit better, I think. So, you know, there's another possibility. I can even put that at an angle if I want to. Or it could be mounted on top of that. Again, I'm trying to keep away from getting way out of here, so I have to reach these buttons and everything. So I'm trying to get away from that. So, I really like it above the other meter, but again, just speculating, I guess is the word. I don't know, I may go ahead and post this video and see what you guys think about it, and just go from there, because like I said, I really don't know the best way of doing it. Like I said, my main goal here, and I know I probably stated this and you're getting tired of hearing it, but my main goal here is to maximize my space and give me the best viewing angle and accessibility, I guess is what I'm saying, for all my stuff. Another thing to consider, which I haven't even thought about it yet, but there's a cable runs here to here. That'll be out of the way, it won't be a problem, but the cables that attach to this and to this will be over here somewhere, down here probably, and will be, you know, unless I can find some place to keep them out of the way, like I'm going to do with my probes on the scope. But you know, that's just another possibility, another thing to think about. So alright, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Now the top shelf, not even thinking about that. You know, it's just, the reason I've got stuff like that up there is because I don't really access it very often. And it would be one of those things where it would be difficult to get up there to adjust things. And I use that for storage more than anything else. So that's why that junk is up there. And it really doesn't need to be up there, but that's just where I put it. And I'm trying to keep my instruments and my meters, things like that, down here to where I can get to them. This I like, the thing I like the best on this is this frequency counter where it's at. I think that's going to be ideal. I just need to build up a shelf and get it to where I need to put it. You know, I don't really think I'm going to move the I don't think I'm going to try to move that strip. I think I'm going to leave it there. It's out of the way, and like I say, once I put a shelf there, the only thing you'll be doing is plugging and unplugging things, and things like that don't get unplugged very often there. So I don't have to worry about that too much. Now these things here, I have one available plug on that strip right now. So I'm gonna have one of those 3-ways or whatever that allow me to plug in at least two more things here. This has a grounded plug on the meter. The top meter doesn't. It's just a wall wart. But also this has, well, no, this was already plugged in there. So I had one socket left after this was plugged in, and I had the audio generator was plugged into the strip right here, which is a live one. It's live all the time. I didn't really want that either. So all right, just things I got to think about. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this capacitance meter is plugged in over there also. It runs behind the frequency, the cord for it runs behind the frequency counter and plugs in over on that strip. So it's controlled by the switch as well. I like that. I'm not really thinking about changing that because I don't use it that often, but it's there if I do need to use it, and it does work. So, you know, I don't know. You guys, a lot of you guys are used to using limited spaces, so give me your thoughts, your Let me hear your comments on this and see how you would do it. But again, like I said, my main goal here is to get accessibility, the best storage solution to get the most into the smallest space, and that's pretty much it. You know, this is still in the mix as far as putting the thing on top of there and just going that route. You know, that would open that whole thing over there, but I don't really want that frequency counter up there because of the cord situation. I don't really have to get to the controls that often, so it's perfect where it's at. And like I said, it's just things I have to consider. So, alright, gonna end this here. Give me your thoughts, your comments, your needs, desires. Oh, also one more thing I'm going to mention, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it, but I'm going to be downsizing. I've thought about that this morning, and I have come to the conclusion there are things here that I don't ever intend to use again. There is no sense in having it clutter up my space. I'm giving a thought to getting rid of my Buick. Very serious thought. I don't think I'm going to be, I say I don't think, I know I'm not going to be doing anything to it, and I hate to see it sit there. You guys, some of you guys I know what that means. I mean, it was my, I'm not even going to say it's my dream car, but it was a car that I've wanted since I was probably 12 years old, because that car just brought back special meaning to me, and sentimental meaning, you know, stuff like that, and I kind of wanted one. I liked the looks of it, and I loved the way it looked and ran, and so, you know, it was one of those things, and I did finally get it, but I waited a little too late in life. I should have got it a little sooner, and I got most of the work done as far as getting it running and drivable. I've driven it several times. It is drivable. But there's a lot of little loose ends that need fixing, and I have most of the parts for it to fix it. So, you know, that's weighing heavy on my mind. I don't like, I don't want it to sit there and go to waste, because that's what it's doing. It's got flat tire, it's got the hood's messed up to where it won't hardly open and close. You know, the battery, I bought a brand new battery a year ago, and it's been sitting out there, not been started or anything. Stuff like that I just don't like doing, and especially on a car like that that's an old car. Like I said, there's a lot of you guys that know what I'm talking about, and so I'm thinking very seriously about that. You know, it would open up a space out there in the garage that I can put my car in. I kind of like to keep that nice. I mean, I've got to make that last, and it would be nice if it was garaged. And so really thinking about that. I'm not really thinking price wise or anything like that. I'm thinking about just what it would mean to me to have it go to someone that would actually want it and want to get it fixed up and work on it. So, you know, that's my, I had talked about giving it to Kylie, but Kylie's not going to do anything with it, and that's my main problem with that. She is the only one that did do anything to it, but she's got her own life. She's not going to even be thinking about stuff like that, and I understand that. I've thought about my son. My son probably doesn't want it. It's not his thing as far as what he likes, and but I am going to talk to him about it. My son-in-law, I thought, you know, about him. He wants an old car, but he doesn't want that old car. He wants, I think, a Firebird, something from his youth, and I understand that completely. And so, you know, it has to be someone that's gonna, you know, like I said, want an old car like this. And it's a 4-door. It's not a 2-door hardtop, you know, things like that. But it's a unique car. It's a flat top. There's not a lot of those around. So, like I said, it's good running. Well, I said it's good running. It does run. It does need the new head gaskets, I'm pretty sure. But like I said, right now it does run and it does drive. The Dynaflow transmission, I would say, shifts smoothly, but it doesn't shift at all. So that's the way Dynaflows work. So anyway, everything else, the brakes were new. and I had those gone over when I got the car, and they stopped. They're not power brakes, but they do work. And like I said, I don't know what else to tell you, but that's just what I'm thinking about. I've got a lot of books that I'm going to be getting rid of. Probably we'll let them go for, just if somebody wants to pay postage on a particular book, and I may go through them one of these days in a video and just show you what I've got and see if you're interested in anything like that. There are a lot of electronic computer books, things like that. And I've got some movies. Now my daughter, I'm sure she'll want the movies and the DVDs that I have and things like that. I don't, those just sit in a shelf and they never ever are used, because these days you just don't, or I don't. Number one, I don't care that much about watching TV and things like that, and so I care more about working on a TV than I do watching it. So, alright, I have talked long enough. That's what I'm thinking about, and just, I figure before I get too old, and I don't want this to. When I moved from Vivi, I went through this with that, and there was a lot of stuff that got left behind. Because I knew, and I was having to make up decisions fast on things because we needed to get things done, and I didn't really like that. I wanted to go somewhere that I wanted to go to, and not just go to the junk pile or whatever. So, all right, like I said, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see ya.